So this is Xware Digitals, and we are coming your way again with tutorials. Today we'll be looking at some mathematical functions. Basically a function. Previously we looked at what formulas are, and today we are looking at functions. The difference between a formula and then a function is that a formula is an equation that is designed by a particular user in Excel, and then a function is a predefined calculation in the spreadsheet application. Okay, so for the functions, they are predefined, and we are going to get it clearer soon when we start. So let's get the ball rolling. So assuming we want to find the total for all these values, we want to add the scores. These are scores of students for about 3 different subjects, and so if we would want to find the total for their scores, then what we could do is that we could traditionally, using formulas, we were either doing this, adding this, and then we click that, and we add that, we click that, and then we press enter, and it gives us this particular answer. And this is what we call the use of functions. But if you want to use this is called the use of formulas. If you want to use functions, then you would have to look for a pre-defined calculation, and this time around, because we are doing additions, we want to use sum. Okay, sum. Now likewise, after inserting your equal to sign and entering sum, the bracket opens, and this time around you could select the first one, but this time around you just put a comma in between them. Then you select the second one, you put a comma, then you select the third one, and then you can close your bracket and enter. And there is how you use a function. It doesn't only apply to sum, there are more others that we'll be looking at very soon. That is how we use what we call a function. And as we know, we could drag and to apply to all other students. Yes, down here. Okay. We could also use this particular alternative. Enter sum, open your bracket, and instead of selecting each score for maths, for science, for English, and putting commas between them, what you could do is just highlight and drag, okay, from the first score, which is maths, to English, and then you close your bracket and enter, and then you have that. So look at that closely. We have the equal to, we have the function, and then you have B3 colon D3. This is B3, so we dragged from B3 to D3, and you see a colon between them, which means that we are trying to sum up values that range from the 44 to 83. That is what we are seeing here, and that is how we came by 187. I believe that is pretty easy, and we can understand. Yes, you could decide to maybe in this particular case where we used sum, you still could decide to enter the value, say maybe 77 plus 69, and so on and so forth. I mean, when you do use the function 77, 69, comma, and then 85, okay, you could do this, but mind you, as we have learned earlier, this has its disadvantages. Okay, because when you want to drag it down for it to apply to other cells, there's no cell referencing. So this may not help you if you would want to enhance productivity. So the best is to select them whilst you so by selecting them and then putting the various scores in there, and then you close. Okay, so this gives us the formula, the results for our functions, and you can drag them down, yes, like this. So very simple. Let's move on to our next function, which is the min. Now we want to take a quick look at the next function, which is min. Min returns the smallest number in a given set of values, and it starts with the same process as what we just learned, the sum, only that this time around, instead of typing a sum, you type a min, which means minimum. And then, like we have already explained, you could select them and separate them with commas, or select them by a range. Okay, so for students 1 to students 5, you are considering their scores from B2 to B6, and then you close it and then enter. So the minimum value between 95, 44, 75, 66, 76 is what we call 44, and that is why min will give you 44, and you can extend it to the others. And when you look through critically, you are really going to find out that indeed from even 79, 60, 69, 67, 68, the least number is 60. Likewise for this, the least number is 70. I believe that we are following. And quickly, it can apply to max as well. So let's quickly work on max. Yes, so if you want the maximum number, so it will return the highest number in a given set of values. So this time around, we select a max, and then we open the bracket, and then we select a range. So we are telling the system, look between or amongst these values, and return the highest value. By glancing through, realize the highest value should be 95. So let's see. Yes, we have 95. You can do same for these. We go to max. Let's do that. Well, we go to max. Then you open your bracket. Then you could select the range. Then you close your bracket. Then you have that. Yes. So you could just extend it across board, and for productivity, increasing productivity sake. Yes, I believe that was very understandable. Good. Now we want to look at average. You know that to find the average of a particular set of values or numbers, you would have to add them and divide all of them by the numbers. So what I mean is that traditionally, we've already done this. We did that initially in our basic formula, operational formulas. If I want to find the average of all these scores for student 1, 95, 79 and 70, what you do is that you would have to add these. So you add this to that, and then you add it to that, and then you close the bracket and you divide by 3 because the numbers are 3. So then, all things being equal, yes, you are going to have this value. This is how we use formulas to find the average. Okay, by this time I want to use the function called average. It's already predefined in there. And mind you, when you are typing average and it shows up and you quickly want to select it, just click on your tab, the tab key. Okay, and then you are good to go. And likewise, as we have already done, you just highlight the range of values you want to find the average for, you close your bracket and then you click on enter, and that is that. You can drag it down and you have the various averages for all these students. I think that is very simple. So now we want to take a look at rank. So you have these various scores or average scores of the students, and we want to rank the students based on their average scores or the performances in their average scores. So what you do is you look for another formula called rank. Okay, and you see a couple of them, and I will explain soon. Basically, you could start with this, which is the rank, and then this is the syntax. So you select the first value or average value that you want to rank. Okay, so it means that for student 1, we want to find the position comparatively to the performance of all other students. We want to find his rank based on his average score. So you select the cell you want to rank, or the value or average score you want to rank, and then you select the range of cells or other values you are comparing that average score to in order to rank. And then the last one, you decide whether the cell you are referencing currently, when it ranks it should be ranked as the highest or it should be ranked as the lowest. So if you want to go for being used, this cell being ranked as the highest starting from 1, then you go for the descending or the 0. If your decision is vice versa, then you go for the other one as well. Then you could comfortably close your bracket and click on enter. Now you realize that it has ranked this particular value as 2. Just glancing through, you can see that the highest score is 83, closely followed by 81.33. Yes, so it makes sense that this guy ranked second in terms of his average score. Now I can apply this by dragging downwards, but you realize that it will be inaccurate. Why? Because remember we learned earlier about cell referencing. The moment you drag it down, you realize that the range changes from E2 to E6. It changes from E2 to E6 to E3 to E7. It doesn't make our ranks or our ranking very accurate, because we want to rank based on a particular reference. Therefore, as we have learned, you have to apply the $ to it so that it will lock our reference, and then we can comfortably drag it down to have accurate results. Yes, so that is it for rank. When you use rank, now rank, and then what we call the rank EQ, basically perform the same function. Okay, so let's see, I've changed it to rank EQ, and then let's drag it down. You realize nothing actually changed. They virtually do the same thing. The only different rank that may give us a slightly different result, not entirely different, more detailing results, would be the rank average. Okay, so we have a rank average. Great. Now when we apply it down there, you realize that these guys change from a 3 or a 3rd position to a 3.5th position. If it makes sense, a 3.5th position. Why? Because you have two values that are repeated. So depending on the specific request you would want, based on the kind of work you are working on, if you have you have numbers or scores repeating, and you want some detailing results or detailed results, then you would have to perhaps choose a rank average so that you would get a 3.5. But mind you, what it actually means is that this particular score was the first, that one was second, this is third, this is also third. Okay, because they are the same scores, so there would be no fourth position. So you just want to find the average. So the third position plus the fourth position, 3 plus 4 is 7, and then 7 divided by 2, the average of their positions is what you get, the 3.5. So we have distributed the average of their positions amongst them. I believe it makes sense. Yes, so it's nothing mysterious. Usually the rank and then the rank.eq are the same, and the rank dot average is what adds a little detail. I believe that is also comprehensive enough. Great. So we would like to look at another function called the sum product. If we want to find, let's look closely at this particular calculation. So you have a value called 95. You want to multiply 95. Simply, you just want to multiply these values of student 1 by these weights, okay, and add them. So this by this plus this by this plus this by this. I don't know if you are getting me. We want to find like the weightage of all the student values. But we start by multiplying 95 by 2, then we add it to 79 times 1, then we add it to 70 times 1.3 for student 1 and apply it to all of them. There's a simple way, and this function grants us that provision to be able to do that. Yeah, so you have your sum product, and then what you could do is first of all, we could highlight the first range of all the values because we are doing it for all of them, and then you put your comma there, and then you could come here and also select this. I think that is all basically, and you click on enter. Yes, so that should give you the answer to that's the sum product or the weightage of the scores of student 1. If you want to apply to all, you just have to drag. But mind you, as we shared initially, you have to ensure that you would have your cells locked, and then you can comfortably drag them down. I should think so. Am I missing anything? Let me take it. Yes, so we missed something because all of them cannot give us 360. Oh yes, so we are our reference should be the weight. The references we should lock, the cell references we are locking should be for the weight, not the range of, because these ones must change because we have to come to student 2, and so the $sign, the reference should move from a B2 to B3 and all that. So this side should not be included in the let me see. So let's find a way of removing them, all the $sign for the student scores themselves. Let's see, and then let me see if this would work. Yes, great, so it works. Yes, so it's the weightage we have to lock, because then if we don't lock the weight, it means that when we are dragging down further, it could also be moving to subsequent cells which don't have any values in them. Okay, but for these, this side we can decide not to lock them, because obviously we want to find the sum product for student 1, student 2, student 3 up to student 5. I believe it makes sense. Okay, so that's why this side has been locked, and this side is the range for the weight. Okay, as you can see. Yeah, so thank you very much for spending time to study along with me. If you have questions and concerns, you can send them to albertjohnsonquay@gmail.com or xworddigitals@gmail.com. You can follow, kindly like and subscribe to my channel. I'm Albert Quay, or xword digitals on YouTube. Okay, send in your comments, concerns. You can also share the videos and encourage somebody to study. These things make our work easy, almost office work easy, and it makes us very efficient as well. So have a fruitful day. Let's meet in our next lesson. Bye bye.